All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I'm going to start by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahawah Ba'Shem, Yahawashi Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teaching 100% true. Walk Barakathon until the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. May peace and blessings be into your households. And in today's topic, or at least starting off, we're going to go into how Esau just make him showing, really just Esau showing his colors even more. Right, more of the nation seeing Esau for who he truly is, right? Hell, his own people. To get to the point that it's going to be undeniable, like who's the devil that the Bible speaks of that's on the earth, right? Because you can see that Esau, right, chiefly, Amalek, no, they don't give a damn about the people, right? Matter of fact, when y'all get Sirach 14, they get 4.
Yeah. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 14, and verse 4. He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others that shall spend his goods righteously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will it be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods.
Exactly. You see that the devil, he's evil to himself. Meaning he's evil to his own damn people. Right? Esau doesn't, well, the chief of the Edomites, Amalek, they don't give a damn about people in America. Hell, majority of the, if I'm mistaken, no, none of the small hats even live in America. Right? Because they know America's ultimately doomed to destruction anyway. But then on top of that, the type of moves that they're making is not only reckless, but selfish as hell. Right? Getting people involved in wars that really had no deals with us. But that's okay, man. That's all part of prophecy. Right, we understand that the devil's going to be the devil that he is, man. He's going to show that he doesn't give a fuck about nobody, right? And with us seeing that, man, hell, other people, the other heathens are starting to see it. That's what I've been saying. The other heathens are starting to see it, right? They're seeing that this devil, like, damn, like he really doesn't care about it. Damn, like we don't made sanctions, treaties with you, and you breaking them like a twig, right? Like it's nothing. Right, and that's what's going to lead to, this beast, right? The 10 horns, NATO, EU. This is going to lead to them ultimately hating the whore more and more. And you can see it happening. You see Yahawashi send these dominoes up all the way up until the MOTB be made mandatory.
Okay. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
It says when the righteous is in authority, the people rejoice. Right, and right now we're clearly the righteous is not in authority because the creation not rejoicing. Because even though it said people can take stand for all the creation. Right, scripture goes through how that red horse took peace from the earth, man. All the creation is affected by that. Right, not just the people. Right, and we living in a society where the wicked man bear rule. Right, he's the reason why shit the way it is, man. Right, not living by the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible. Instead of living by teachings of man, and you see how that's paying off for you. I know what Jeremiah goes into, woe to man that trusted in man. Right, that's what the Edomites say. They trusted in each other, themselves, their technology. Right, and it's doing nothing but making the world worse. But when the righteous is in authority, the people rejoice. Right, so when the Israelites, aka when Yahawashi gets down here and take over, and his kingdom is established. Everybody's going to be rejoicing because they're going to be basically living based off the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible, right? Because as it says in Sirach 19 and 19, can you grab that real quick? Yeah, Sirach 19 and 19, it goes into how that's the doctrine of life. The doctrine goes into sayings and teachings. We're going to pull it real quick.
Now, this is the book of Sirach 19 and verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Exactly. The knowing of the commandment, what it said, knowing the commandments, knowledge of the commandments. The knowledge of the commandments is the doctrine of life. Right? And the Yahawashi kingdom, you're going to be able to push forth that at an all-time high.
Yeah, because if I can ask it, Esau, no, he has knowledge of the commandments. Going all the way back to him in his previous, reincarnation, him as being Cain. Both Cain and Abel knew the instructions of the Lord as Adam, as Adam passed down those instructions down to his sons. Okay, but what did Cain do? Okay, Cain deviated, from the knowledge. Okay, he deviated from the instructions and from what YAHAWASHI commanded and wanted to do his own thing. So here in the times that we're living in right now, same thing is unfolding before our eyes. Okay, you have the seed of Abel, you have the seed of the righteous, on the earth, and you also have, well, I wouldn't say the seed of Abel, but you have ultimately Abel symbolizes the elect, as they offer up their bodies, they offer up, that righteous sacrifice, but then you also have, the seed of Cain, which we believe through the Spirit that the seed of Cain, gotta be these Edomites, man, So, but nonetheless, Esau is offering up this whack ass sacrifice, even though he knows what the Lord requires. As it's written in the book of Psalms, the 50th chapter, I believe it's like the 16th verse. It says, speaks about the wicked, who are thou, to declare my statutes and take hold of my covenant, saying that thou hatest instruction and cast the words of the Lord behind thee, man. So Esau knows. Going back to that scripture, he has knowledge of the commandments. And see, that's what's going to ultimately. Hey, the Lord got him in the trick bag, man. You see, he's claiming to be the people of the Lord, claiming to be the Israelites. They're in the land, but yet they're absolutely doing nothing that the scriptures commands to do. You got it, bro.
Exactly, man. Shit, the Lord really showed that when the small hands first got there. Right, when they first got into Israel, if I'm not mistaken, it was a I think it was a war, not war, but it was something that night. That was bad.
War that same night.
Yeah, it was war that night. Yep. Right, so Lord already really let Jake know from the jump that like, man, they ain't people. Right, because it should be war no more. And hell, we live in the times of what? World War III.
Hey, bro, even more proof. If those people that's claiming to be the Ish people or the true biblical Jews that's dwelling in the land right now, where's the Lord at fighting for? If the Lord is on their side, where he at fighting for you, protect you from those Iranians that's fucking your ass up, shooting futile missiles, at your synagogues and in your neighborhoods. If you're the true people of the Lord, is it not written that the Lord would defend and fight for the Israelites? You see? But you're not the people. He's showing the whole world that he's against you, man. Exodus 17th chapter, the Lord says, I will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. That's what we're witnessing right now. This is Isaiah 24 and verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So pretty much going into how these Edomites, the self-proclaimed white people, are ruling the entire planet Earth. They're not ruling it based off the law, statute, commandments like they claim they are. Especially here in America, talking about it as a Christian country. This country doesn't use the Bible as a way of ruling the planet Earth. It uses Christianity as a way of taking over countries, claiming that the self-proclaimed white people are on top of every other nation. So that's why they use the scriptures, but they don't use the scriptures to bring life to the planet Earth. They use it to only bring death, especially the small hats. The only reason they use the Bible for is to proclaim war amongst the people. They don't use it to bring life to the planet Earth.
Exactly. Go ahead and bring up.
So Matthew chapter 7 and verse 18, and it reads, I'll start at verse 17, Matthew 7 and 17, but really verse 16. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Guys, it says the good tree bring forth good fruit, and evil tree bring forth evil fruit. Right, and Esau, man, he's ultimately that evil tree. Right. Matter of fact, you get Ecclesiastes 7, I think like 7:13, around that area. Yeah, Esau, he's the one that's bearing that evil fruit. Right, it should go to Lord made. Can the man say with Lord made cricket? Yeah, so Esau, he's the one that's bearing that evil fruit, because ultimately, Matter of fact, can you read the next verse as well?
Matthew 7:18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Exactly. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, and an evil tree cannot bring forth good fruit. So therefore, Esau, him being that evil tree, he cannot bring forth good fruit. Right? It's in his nature to be completely adverse to Yahawah without even trying.
Yep, and he's enticing our people just like he did from the very beginning in the garden. Okay, the Garden of Eden. Okay, to partake into his fruit. See, so this scripture also proves that fruit is not talking about it's no apple, no mango, watermelon. You know, Jake's too damn hungry, man. You know, but this fruit is going to ultimately, your way of life, your philosophies, teachings. See? So, but this devil, man, he has not changed. That's why scriptures links him as into being that old serpent when you read Revelation the 12th chapter. See, because, okay, he's still presenting that same fruit here in this time that he did all the way in the ancient world, man. Ultimately, it's all predicated off of rebellion against the Most High and still promising that you can live. You know?
Yeah. You go ahead and bring out that. Unless you got some.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 13. Consider the work of YAHAWASHI, for who can make that straight which he had made crooked?
Exactly. So who can make thou straight which the Lord, Yahawah had made crooked? Going to show you that the Lord, he made them this way. Right? The Lord wanted an antagonist. He wanted somebody ultimately to hate. Had to go to Romans the 9th chapter. No, Esau had my bad. Jacob had by love, and Esau had by hating. Right? He wanted a nation to love, and he wanted a nation to hate. And Esau, the so-called white man, is meant to be the nation that he chose to hate. Hell, look at him. He's the perfect devil. Right? He playing his role to a T. Hell, you can see he fulfilled that Malachi 1 and 4 for real, the borderline of wickedness. Right? Just straight up horn, not only himself, but everybody else. Right? A complete cancer upon this earth. Right? If he carried on, continue to rule, then he'd destroy everything, including himself. Right? Because he don't care about nothing else. And that's exactly how the Lord wanted him to be. Right? I guess, like I said, the antagonist of the movie. Right? You got the Israelites, right? Really starting with the elect. Being a protagonist. So if the Lord made him crooked, then there's nothing you can do about it. Right? Jay like to be like, oh, they not all bad. Well, not all white people are Edomites. Right? You got some that are Jake, but we're talking about all Edomites. Yes, all Edomites are bad. They are programmed to be bad. They're programmed to be adverse to the Lord. They're programmed to not like you.
If you gave them all an opportunity to be on the E Island, they'll all be there.
Exactly. Because they all wicked, man.
Yeah.
They can't help it. The Lord made them that way. So don't try to feel pity for them. Guess what? They don't pity your ass.
All right.
Right? They don't give a damn about your ass. But you got some
Going to the point how no Edomite is programmed to do good. They were all programmed to do evil. That's what the Israelites are going to get in the kingdom. But over here on this side, the Edomites, they were programmed to only do evil and no good. So this is Psalms chapter 14 and verse 1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no Most High. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Man, so pretty much every Edomite on the planet Earth, they're not going to do no good because YAHAWASHI strictly programmed them to do evil. He created the perfect devil to go around the earth, kill, murder, rob. That's the only thing that Esau was created to do, not to do wickedness. But our people don't understand that this devil don't have their best interests, and they're going to have to find out the hard way that this devil, the self-proclaimed white man, was never for us. That he was only created to be against us.
Exactly. And can you read the top part again?
Psalms chapter 14 and verse 1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good.
Exactly. That's Esau. Right? Matter of fact, you get Sirach 10 and 12.
Yeah, he says that, one of the ways how he says that there's no power, no God, is through his pseudoscience. This nigga really got the whole world. He has a lot of people really thinking that there's no such thing as God.
Exactly.
Of a power, bro. Like, you got all this beautiful creation out here. We're literally floating on a big ass globe, a circle in the middle of space. You know, you have perfect seasons: summer, winter, spring, fall. It was like clockwork. You got night and day, like clockwork. You got oxygen. You got H2O. You got carbon dioxide. You got all these elements. You got people. You got ducks. You got rivers, streams. Okay, fish. But there's no God. You see? So this goddamn devil at 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, he exalts and opposes himself above all that is called God, all that is called power, man. Okay, because previous, heathen nations that came into rulership, they never pushed out the wicked ideology that there is no God. They pushed out false gods, false deities, Vishnu, Krishna, whatever, Baal, But going to the extent to say that there's no God at all, bro, that's a whole, that's what you call impious. See, Edomites by nature, they're impious. They don't have any God, they don't have a spiritual bone in their body. They're carnal. You see?
Yeah. That's where they excel at, being carnal.
Yeah, and you got niggas out here believing that rhetoric from the so-called white man that there's no God. Niggas talking about that they atheists. Well, where'd you learn that from? You learned that from the so-called white man, Esau Edom. You see? Which really, that takes faith to believe. Bro, it really takes more faith to not believe that there's a God than to actually believe that there is one. Because when have you ever driven into a neighborhood and the thought crossed your mind that all these houses just popped up in the middle of nowhere? There was no architect, no mechanical engineer, no bricklayer, no foundation layer that had his hand in the process of making these homes. He just popped out of thin air. This earth is a home. See, the Lord created the earth for us to dwell in it, but yet you got this freak nasty devil, Esau Edom. Okay, so it's saying that there's no God. But he's boasting and saying that I'm God, and if you don't like it, you can get off.
Yep.
You see, so he's got to be the man of sin that 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, speaks about, which the Apostle Paul said 2,000 years ago. Okay, he's already at work. Okay, it's just he had to be revealed in these times, man, and he's been revealed. You got it.
Yeah, you guys are wrong.
This is Baruch 1:22, and it reads, "But every man follow the imagination of his own wicked heart to serve strange gods and to do evil in the sight of the Lord our power." So what the priest is going into, man, they don't believe in the God, right, the power of the Hebrew Israelite, because they worship gods behind closed doors, right? And at the end of the day, they worship themselves, call themselves God, all right? Because at the end of the day, like the priest said, look at everything that walks around here, man. The complexity of the Most High's creation. There's a majesty in everything that he's creating in perfection. Even the son of the wicked, he's created in perfection. But he's created not to receive the light, but rather the darkness, right? That's what makes him so carnal. We have to understand that we are in the land of our enemies. They worship idols. We worship the true power, the living power, YAHAWASHI. And this is a captivity. All right, and you're not sovereign because this is a captivity of the so-called Black, Latino, and Indians. See, that's why you're here worshiping their gods, rather than the true power that was given onto you, to your lineage, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah, just to go back to that point, as far as like what the brother brought out in that Psalms, you have to be a fool for you to be thinking that there is no power, right? Hell, your body itself is already complex within itself, right? You think they just popped out of thin air, like Esau said? Big Bang Theory just blew up, and right? It's like you have to be some kind of special stupid for you to think like there's no power at all, right? It's already bad enough if you believe in some other power, but to believe there's none, it's like, all right, Lord got a special judgment for you. And really, like the brother said, man, that's what Esau did. He done hell. Job 9:24 goes into it. He covered the face of the judges, showing himself that he is God, pretty much. Jesus Christ, white, noodle-haired white nigga, leprous nigga, blue eyes. Yeah, I'm God, boy. Right? You serve me. Right? And it's all going to be to your detriment anyway every time you call upon that. Because that's nothing but another demon, another idol that majority of the people serve, man.
I got one.
Okay.
I'll get this. Wisdom of Solomon 13 from the top in the GNT. And the title, my Bible has, it says the foolishness of nature worship. Right? Which a lot of people is getting caught up in that too. Scripture says in Romans, the 1st chapter, for they worship the creature more than their creator. You know, which that's called idolatry, man. No, we don't worship the creature. We worship the creation, as this chapter is about to go into. Wisdom of Solomon 13, verse 1 in the GNT. Anyone who does not know YAHAWASHI is simply foolish. You can close the book right there. You know, you a special kind of stupid if you don't know YAHAWASHI. See, but the thing is, the Lord ain't got to put his spirit upon you to even seek him, to even know him, man. All right, so it says, such people look at the good things around them and still fail to see the living God.
And that's exactly what these atheists do, right? The ones that don't believe in the higher power, man. They just like, they'll just look around, you see trees, you see the bugs, you see the animals, right? The fact that you sleep and you wake up, just all of it, man. It's like damn, it's like. But scripture goes into it. Hell, Lord said, "My people are sadists, man."
Yep.
Right? They're stupid, man. They don't want to learn.
And you got the rain cycle, man. Like it's about to rain here in the next few hours or so.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like the Lord, like this, like that's, bro. The earth is a very complex, you know, well intricate, you know, built, you know, habitation.
Yeah.
Where you got a rain cycle to where the creator, okay, set up this rain cycle to where you could, if it replenishes the earth, okay, you know, give seed, you know, so you can eat, you know what I mean? And then he'll hold back the rain for times of punishment, okay, to sin, famine, you see? So it's like, it's just so many moving parts that people overlook. Like there's a saying in the world, you know, you overlook the forest for the trees. Meaning you're so focused in on one thing, you miss the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, like just look at your hand, look at your body. Sometimes, like yo, you know what I mean? I'll be amazed as weak and frail and as decrepit as these bodies are. Like the preacher said, these bodies are still very complex. All the billions of neurons in your brain that's firing every second of the day to make you fucking think or not think. You know, you know what I mean? Involuntary, you know, in movements in your body, such as breathing. You don't think about breathing, but the Lord created something called smooth muscles. Okay, smooth muscle cells to where it makes your body breathe. So you don't even have to think about it. Your heart always beating. You're not thinking about, you know, okay, I need my heart to beat 60 times a minute. You know what I mean? Like the Lord, he already got that figured out. He created, you know, involuntary, it's called involuntary muscles. You know, things like that. Going to show you that, man, he's in control. He's the one that has authority as to, you know, how much you breathe, how fast your heart beats, when your heart starts to beat, when it stops to beat, you know, when your spirit is taken out of your body. So it's foolish, man, not to think that there's a God, you know?
Even the body, bro. That's worlds and worlds. Right? You go into the body, right? The heart, the blood. That's a world when you look at the blood. That's a world when you look at the heart. The complexity of the whole body, the chemistry, right? You got to give honor and respect to Yahweh. At the end of the day, can you consider, you know, the complexity of all the things that he's created, bro.
If you think so.
All right, going back, Wisdom of Solomon 13 and verse 1 in the middle part in the GNT. They have studied the things he made, but they have not recognized the one who made them.
Damn, man, to me that sounds just like pretty much Esau, man. Studying, digging deep into, it should be like this, it should be like that, right? He studies things that he made, but don't even acknowledge YAHAWASHI, man. Right? His own, as it says in Obadiah 1 and 3, man, his pride deceives himself, man. He's like, oh shit, hey man, I did this. I'm on some little kid shit. Right? So for you to believe that there's no power that did none of this, hell, it's just like you have to be some kind of special stupid. You got to be insane, right? You can't be sane thinking like that. Looking at everything around you, yourself, like, and like I said, carefully looking at it, studying it and all, ins and outs of it. And you still like, nah, it can't be no God, right? Because it might mess around not fit your narrative or whatever. Mm-hmm. No, which is stupid.
But Esau knows that there is. He just continues to push out that narrative and that wicked ideology. That's why they call it a theory, Big Bang theory. But people are taking something that even he himself calls a theory as if it's a fact.
Yeah.
You know, they ultimately turn Esau's knowledge, you know, what he calls science, which is science just simply means to know or to have knowledge of. they've ultimately turned the so-called white man's pseudo knowledge, if you will, into a religion. Science is a religion here. That's what makes up, okay, part of this beast system. You know, it's a pseudoscience, which people worship that shit, man. That's why in the time of 2020, okay, you had the nigga woman saying, okay, concerning that dragon juice, okay, I'm going to stick my arm out. I don't care what's in it. He said it's good, so I'm going to take it. Why? Because the so-called white man's pseudoscience and his medical miracle, so-called, is the new religion here, man. And he's exalted, and people have exalted that above the Most High and his instructions, man, through his only begotten son. You see, so that's why it's just, the cloak is removed. You people, you got what's coming for you, man. Okay, you chose this. You chose to make a covenant with hell and death. Okay, so now, hey, you got to lay in the bed that you make.
Exactly. Go ahead and bring out your.
This is Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going.
Exactly, man. If the Edomites can say literally anything to him, right? Well, really, you can say anything to him, but as long as it's scientifically proven by the white man, right? They're gonna believe it, no matter what. Like, damn, hey, you got me there, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they said such and such is good for you. It's good for you, I guess.
That's all you got to make a motherfucker to do to make a believe. All you got to do is just say those key, that catchphrase. It is scientifically proven.
Yeah.
Then you can fill in the blank. Whatever you want to say after that, them niggas gonna believe it.
Yeah.
Because what pops in their head as soon as you say scientifically proven, they think about the so-called white man. They're like, okay, that's daddy right there. Whatever he say is right.
Yeah.
You know. So if he say if it's scientifically proven, if you get horseshoe crab blood inside of your bloodstream, that's going to cure you from the seaweed. Well, niggas gonna do it, and they did it. So much to the point to where you had Israelite leaders promoting it. This whole time you cursing out the so-called white man, bringing out Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy. But your ass promoting the fucking the dragon juice, man. You see why? Because you are of your father, the devil. You see?
Yep, wolves in sheep clothing, man. Like you said, never. Matter of fact, you done with that, or you?
Yeah, that was.
Get this Rock 12 and 10.
So
Because we already had the held anyways, you made mention of it. You know, never to trust thine enemy. Oh, you go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
God, keep going.
Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
Exactly, man. Don't let him fool you by him being nice. You know, you should understand what Psalm 55, I think it is 21, 22. His tongue is smoother than butter. He good with his words. He look innocent. You know, blue eyes, baby face. But that's the biggest nigga on earth.
Or a white lab coat on, or a suit and tie.
Exactly.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like I said, though he humble himself, but take good heed of him, man.
Yep.
Right? Though he look like, oh, he actually has your interest in best heart. Best believe that devil don't. He doesn't. Matter of fact, can you get that Sirach 13? But yeah, he doesn't. He don't have you at his best interest, man. He's worried about me. The biggest narcissist on the planet.
And why? Because it goes back to Genesis 25, that birthright. Everything is spiritual. Nothing that's happening here upon this earth, okay, is because it's by happenstance or coincidence. Everything is spiritual, bro. The reason why the so-called white man hates you is not because of your skin color. Motherfuck some skin color. Okay, it's something spiritual, man. It goes back to Genesis 25 as you made mention of, but you want Rock 13 and what?
6.
Rock 13 and 6. I'll start at verse 5.
Okay.
If thou have anything,
Yeah.
he will live with thee.
Exactly. If thou have anything, he will live with. This is the perfect right here. What we're finna go into this is the exact nature of Esau and Edom. Yeah, this is the exact nature of Esau and Edom right here, man. Right? If you have anything, he gonna live with you. In other words, he's gonna use you. Like he used Eve. Right? That's a perfect example of how Esau using Eve. He's finna get ready to do away with us. She gonna be left for the wolves for real.
Oh, he done with her ass, bro. The new apartment for Eve is parking lots.
Yeah.
That's a fucking fact. The so-called white man's done with you, black woman. He used you, and now he discarded of you properly. Now you sleeping in fucking Walmart parking lot or TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next one gonna be the military base. He's gonna have these hoes in the draft. You know? He's gonna draft you like Kawhi
Yeah,
Leonard.
he's gonna put a big ass helmet on you and put you on the front lines with no bullets in your gun.
Tell him off. Yeah,
The only reason why you women out there in
Safety
the
on.
military is for box.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That's all y'all out there for. Y'all ain't fighting. Come on, man.
yeah.
Even you women as so-called firemen and policemen, you out there for box. Okay, I know for personal experience. Bro, me as a grown-ass man, I don't trust no fucking woman to live out no burning building.
Hell no.
Bitch, you're a fireman.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Messing with the hose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's America. That's Babylon. That's just confusion, bro. Only in America can a woman be a fireman.
Fireman.
Yeah.
Fireman. That's the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, well, man. Yeah, because you're. I mean, there's a reason why they call
My
y'all
goodness.
spoils of war, right? You're not supposed to be at spoils of war and fight, right? That's a bad thing. But like your brother said, for you women out there, hell, that's a video on it. Military woman that made a video on it. Like, be careful who you trust because, you know, once it gets down to the wire, you know, men been stressed out, testosterone up too, they working out. You know, they gonna lose something. I was like, no shit. Like you just don't get it. Like you thought you could be on par with it. No, bro, just do your womanly duties. Stay out the way. Right? Let the man handle it. But it's okay, man. Because, bro, go ahead and go to the world. A lot of y'all ain't gonna make it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Coming back.
Hell, even if you did, you probably still wouldn't make it because the men of the Lord wouldn't take it. Probably too damn masculine. Right? Into this whole what is it, feminist bullshit.
Yeah, don't know how to cook shit. Bitch don't know how to make biscuits. You can't even heat up Pillsbury biscuits. You just got the instructions on the back. You can't even pop the fucking can. You just looking at it like some cave. You know, like, ooh. Now we don't eat that shit. We don't eat nothing that. But you gotta bust biscuits and pop like. We don't eat that. We just making a point. Bitch don't even know how to bust a can of biscuits, man.
Yeah. Shit, we're surrounded like the Apostle Bar said, man. These ain't women. These are a whole bunch of females. Because women goes into a female circuit, so we just got a whole bunch of females just walking around. You know. So, but we go ahead and get back in that Sirach.
Sirach 13, and going back to Sirach 13 and verse 6. If he had need of thee, he will deceive thee, and smile upon thee, and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair, and say, what wantest thou?
Exactly, bro. And does not Esau does that? Hell, he's doing that with his own allies, right? Hell, his own allies calling for help from him. He's like, nah, fuck you, Israel. You good though? Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's like shit. He needed you at that moment to put his base there, but now you're a target. You're a target for you know, enemies like Iran, for example. Now you getting some kind of damage from them. Then now Esau's turning the cheat. You're like, oh no. Israel good though. Israel good though. Esau's ultimately showing his true colors among the nations, and the nations are seeing it. It's like, damn, this devil really like just don't give a fuck about nobody.
Yeah.
Right? As if, you know, just doing that to America, to the Americans is already bad enough. You do it to your own damn allies. That's why I made mention earlier, hey, this gonna come to pass when shit is really starting to happen already. That the beast is gonna hate the whore, man. That whore being Babylon the Great, beast going to the NATO EU, man. Right? So ultimately his allies is gonna turn against him because he don't give a damn about the allies. Why you think Iran keep turning down what is it called? Not peace. Ceasefire, man. He keeps turning that down because he know Esau bullshit about it. Hell, he already tried. They already tried with that shit. Still got bombed. These devils can't be trusted. Right? And this what we're going to is showing you like pretty much his nature. Smile upon me. Hey, I got you, my boy. Right? But the second you need him, like, I don't know you. But you got it, bro.
Yep. I actually skipped a verse. Going up here to Sirach 13 and verse 4. If thou be for his prophet, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
Exactly. If thou be for his prophet, he will use thee. Meaning, if you have any kind of use for him, trust and believe. He's gonna use you.
Yeah, look what he do to Jake that got, you know, these great talents. You know, whether they're musicians, you know, athletes, you know, they have use. You know, for look at use Michael Jackson for an example.
Okay.
You know, starting with Lil Jackson, you know, Lil Mike. You know, like that boy was talented, man. But we see what Esau did to him, bro. You know, he exploited, you know, Jake of his talents. He made a lot of money off of Jake and totally turned Jake out, man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what he's doing on a worldwide scale.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like I had mentioned, now let's get to the point where everybody's beginning to see it. But matter of fact, before we continue on that, let's get Nahum 3 and 5 real fast. Let's get that real quick.
God, this is the book of Nahum, chapter 3 and verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, said the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Exactly. That's what the Lord's showing. He's showing pretty much everybody, the nations. The carnal eye can get this shit, man. It's just really impossible for you not to get it. Right? That the devil who you want, the devil you are. Started with the the little Eastern file. Now help starting the war. Right, starting a war that didn't really need to be started. Now we understand prophecy is gonna make it happen, but that's what the Lord doing. He's like, nah, I'm show them who this devil is before I come down and to take the nigga out of rule. Right? So everybody is seeing this devil exactly for who he is. Doesn't give a damn about his people. A bunch of pedo files, if I can say it like that. Right? A bunch of nasty freaks, man. Right?
Yeah.
So with that being shown, it's like, damn, why would you trust in this devil? But guess what? Our people, as it says in Isaiah, the 30th chapter, man, our people gonna trust them. 31, our people gonna trust them anyway, because this is all that he knows. This is all that Jake knows anyway, man. Well, Jesus Christ. When you say Jesus Christ, you really trusting in him.
Yeah.
Who's Jesus Christ? A white nigga. So the Lord, he's doing a great job of really showing everybody the devil like who he actually is. Because we already know, we've been to hell. The apostles, been warning, about 40 plus years, 30 plus years of who Esau was. Oh, he's the devil. People like, man, whatever. Okay, yeah. Now it's being shown. It's like, damn, bro. Turns out, I seen somebody made a comment. I think it was under a brother video that someone said they've been saying this since 2000, right? Like pretty much how G-Man's been saying this since 2000. I'm like, damn. So people are actually starting to realize, like, oh, what we've been saying is right. Now the question is, are they gonna repent? That remains to be seen. But like, hell, more than likely, they're probably not. But one thing they is gonna know is Ezekiel 33, a prophet has been among them. We go back. Is that it on that? Sorry, go back. That's right.
Come. Going back, Sirach chapter 13, and you even got a lot of Edomites. They get all up on the YouTube and stuff. Like, damn, we really the devil.
Right.
And they cursing themselves out. But scripture says when the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth himself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a part of your own tongue falling upon yourself.
Yep.
Exactly.
So if the so-called white man can see that he's the devil, how come you niggas can't see it? And you simple ass Mexicans and you Native Americans and you Israelite foreigners, man. He's telling you, like, damn, I am the devil. Like he made movies about it, made little YouTube skits, like that YouTube skit called The Man. I know brother seen that little cartoon skit of the man just goes to like an image of a little small, Edomite just going throughout the earth, just using the creatures speedily, killing elephants, making pianos, and dumping shit in the waters, making it toxic, and then when it's all said and done, he's sitting on this big gigantic heap of trash, and then the chariot comes and zaps.
Good.
He knows what's going to happen.
Yep.
Okay.
Sirach 13 and 5. If you have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it.
Exactly. So if you have anything, it just goes back to him using you, man.
Bro, if I think so, okay, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say like I said, man. He's gonna make you bigger, man. He's gonna really just expose your shit, right? Leave you naked, man.
Is that not what was said? What was said about Adam and Eve in the garden when the serpent starting with Adam and then ultimately got to Eve? Because the serpent knew he couldn't just go to the stronger vessel, Adam. He had to go through the weaker vessel. Okay, but let me read that again. It says, if you have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear.
Yeah.
Make thee bear. What's another word for bear? Naked. Now, when the Lord rose up that prophet, in the garden, because Scripture says for the voice of the Lord was in the garden, in the morning. Roughly paraphrasing. Read that account in Genesis the 3rd chapter, but that goes until the Lord, reproving them from his mouthpiece, the prophet. Okay, and Adam and Eve said, for we're naked. And the Lord said, who said that you were naked? So that, but through them listening to the serpent, that's how they became bare. meaning they lost their covering of the spirit, man. See, so they sold on fig leaves. Okay, these false ideologies, false philosophies, just like Jake is doing now. Because why? Esau made you bare. Yeah. That's why Yahawashi warned us, hey, in these last days, keep your garments, man. Because Esau's still doing the same. That old serpent still doing the same thing, making niggas naked out here, bro, without no protection, without no armor. Yeah. He wants you exposed right along with him.
Exactly. Like you said, he's doing that now. That's why we got that in that Sirach 12, in that Sirach 12, never trust thine enemy, man. Because what is Esau trying to do? I mean, his plan to do. His goal is to take out, not only pretty much take as many Israelites as he can with him. Pretty much. Right? And you see he's doing that by using other groups, paying them off money. Man, hey, get the 501c and just shut up, nigga. Right? And then they're doing it. Yeah. Right? They doing it. Hell, they going hard at it. Just to deceive the people. Right? So make this constantly every day making our people more and more bad. Right? So Jesus Christ. Okay, you found it is like now. You gotta, Lord gotta guide you through that too as well. Because there's multiple Israelite camps.
It's a straight game, bro.
Yeah, man. The path of difficulty, man. Right?
He says, if you find it, like the brother said, because ultimately the Lord, YAHAWASHI, he's the one that set up all these stumbling blocks. Yeah. Set up all these different camps. It's not Well, he's using Esau to do these things, but it's ultimately YAHAWASHI to weed out and filter. And what does it say in Amos the 9th chapter? But he says, for lo, I will command and sift the house of Israel from amongst all nations. This is part of the Lord sifting Jake by setting up all these particular stumbling blocks and offenses and philosophies, and even like you said, even amongst the Hebrew Israelite, community. You got IUIC, they don't call upon the name of the Lord, they don't push the chip. You got ISPK, same thing. Okay, all these various different camps. You're getting closer and closer. You're warm, you're getting warmer, but you're still not hot. Right. This is where you hot at, man. We're in the holy of holies. Our fight is Lord willing, let us stay here. But ultimately, all these other camps, they appear to have it, but the Lord, Ezekiel the 14th chapter, speaks about how he says, son of man, basically how I will set up stumbling blocks for the iniquity of their souls, when they acquire a word of the Lord, but ultimately they're not right. Yeah. So he set up, these particular different idols to snare Jacob. That's a scary thing. Yeah. I have one. Oh, yeah, you got Revelation 13 and verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
Exactly, man. Majority of our people, 2/3 specifically, is going to ultimately worship this devil. Right? They're not going to come out of like, Esau, Esau for what he is, really. Only elect, man. Not Romans. 2 Edges 9-22. Isaiah 10 chapter. How remnant shall return. Right? So ultimately he's gonna get everybody else but the elect. Them are the only ones. The scriptures even said if it was possible, they'll be able to do it. If it was possible. Right? So if it was possible, then they would see the elect. But since it's not, then it's just not gonna happen. Simple as that. It's just not gonna happen. It's impossible. But what? What scripture you just read in Revelation?
That was Revelation 13 and 8. Let me read it again.
Can you go up to verse 3?
Oh, absolutely. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Yeah, what's that? What's the head? What's one of the heads? Because it's talking about the dragon. Basically, a dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns. And I remember I was in the world, you got, these Christians trying to break it down. And they couldn't break it down.
Talking about the Pope.
Yeah. Somebody, they were like, well, who can we go back to see that had head trauma that died? I mean, and I'm looking at them like, damn, who was it talking about?
Yeah.
But anyway, talking about the Roman Empire, you know what I mean? Because one of the 7 heads is Rome, you know what I mean, of the dragon. And then obviously that wound was healed, you know what I mean? That wound was healed in the revived Roman Empire in Babylon the Great, the American Empire, but you can finish the verse on that.
All right. Romans 13 and 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Yeah, you see. So now, you know, the NATO nations. Okay. Well, I'll say the Roman Empire with its city or vassal states are revitalized, resuscitated. Okay, which is the modern day NATO and the EU nations, man. Okay, that are basically in league with the beast. And now that what's it called? The U.S. and Iran and Israel, are at war. People are making more mention of that Article 5 of the NATO agreement. And basically, if you attack any NATO nation, it's being taken as an attack on all NATO, on all the NATO nations. You know what I mean? Showing you that that's part of that beast system. Okay, but all the world wondering after the beast. Okay, basically, the things that this beast system has been able to accomplish militarily, all right, has caused great pride. You see Trump talking about, this is the greatest, we have the greatest military in the world, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of that has to do with the trust that they have in their allies. Two brothers got it.
This is Obadiah 1 and 2, and it reads, Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised.
Yep. And this is talking. You got it, bro. Okay, look. This is Esau, man. This is Esau. Esau Edom is going to be despised, okay? Esau Edom is going to be made small among the heathen.
This is Obadiah 1 and 2. It says, Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee.
Yeah, the pride of thine heart, And of course, America being this very proud nation, Trump boasting about what he did in Venezuela.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe a month ago now. Yeah. Yeah, a few months ago, his flawless campaign victory is flawless.
Yeah.
A military campaign.
I'm mad.
Okay. Got his head boasted up before this thing really popped off in Iran.
Yeah.
So now he's feeling invincible, hopping into shit that he can't really handle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we can see that it's spiraling down. So his pride has deceived him. Okay, the pride of this place, pride of America, Babylon the Greatest, the most proud country in the world, man.
Yep.
The most proud nation in the world. Okay.
Yep.
The home of the brave, the proud, the free. Remember them commercials? They play back to back. Military commercials, man. That shit is weak now.
Yep. Yeah.
America is spending so much money just on military alone. Which is tearing up the dollar, and destroying its economy. God, you can read that again.
This is Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised.
Yeah, among the heathen, and that's that's the rest of these nations.
Right.
These other nations, man, they don't have shit. He talked down on these other nations, but hey, the Lord said that He's gonna make him despised under the heathen. All these he puts the title on them on third world countries,
Right.
These second world countries, because the idea of Western society, it trumps all. No pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a higher class. A higher way of living. See, but these heathen, man, they're gonna be over Esau Edom. We're about to witness them pretty much jump his ass.
Yeah.
Right now to what you're saying, because it says in Daniel, right, 17 and 4, that he's the basis of man.
Yeah.
So the basis of man is going into that small.
Yeah.
Out of all these nations, Esau Edom is known as the son of the wicked. He's the smallest, the basis, right? And when you consider base, that's that low thing. It get kicked over, it gets stepped on.
Yeah.
Right? But right now he's being exalted, or he's exalting himself, right? But we know eventually, and especially now, Most High is going to a basis there.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, and it's already started morally, okay, with the likes of, you know, the Epstein, you know, cases coming out, the evidence of them doing what they do, you know, that's a known fact abroad.
Yep.
You know, things that's going on in these other countries that follow after them. You know, the thing is they're even more they're closer to it because these embassies that they set up, you know, in these other countries, man, they do a lot of wicked acts there. You know, word gets out in these nations, so they know about the base nature of the Edomite. You know, where they come from, their history. All right, and even these Iranians, man, they know about the devil, man. They have it in their religion, man. They describe him as a devil, you know. So they know they can see, so they know his morality is low. No, so you can see that pendulum shift starting to take place. That natural order of things, the cream rising to the top, which the elect first, chiefly, of the nation of Israel, and then the nation of Israel, being put back in order, and then the nations ultimately, being over the Edomite because they're the basis of man, like you mentioned.
Okay.
This is Obadiah 1:3. It said, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Yeah, and that's the spirit that Trump is in, man. The spirit of war. All right. Who shall bring me to the ground? Who's going to destroy him? And even though all odds are, you can see all odds are against this man, in the Middle East or East Asia, right? South Asia.
West South Asia.
So you can see all odds are against this man, but yet he's still deceived in his own mind. His mind has deceived him, man.
I got a quick one for you. You made mention of that proverbial seesaw. Psalms 20:8 in the NLT. I'll start at verse 7 for you. Some nations boast in their chariots and horses, but we boast in the name of YAHAWASHI, our power. Those nations will fall down and collapse, but we will rise up and stand firm.
Can you read that again?
Yep, from verse very
Yeah,
one.
from the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Psalms 27 NLT. Some nations boast in their chariots and horses.
And that's exactly what he boasts in. We spend this much on military. We do this. We got all these training techniques. First class military training, world class technology. Infrastructure. World class. Education. Right. That's what he boasting in this military. All right. We boasting. Hey, knowing the Lord, man. Starting with his name, starting with his will, his people, understanding what he wants from his men. Okay, understanding the order, the things he's proclaimed in the earth. That's where our boast is. See, that's where our glory is, if you will. Keep going.
Says some nations boast in their chariots and horses, but we boast in the name of our Lord YAHAWASHI.
In the name.
Yep.
All right, in that name. And you see a lot of Israel don't even have that.
Right.
A lot of Israel don't even have that ability to boast in that name. And that name, of course, it comes with a reputation.
No.
A record of things that the Lord has performed for his people, man. His elect. Okay? And one of these things the Lord has done is essentially putting us in the forefront of these things, man, the earth and the things at hand. Rulership. Okay? And overcoming, this third world war. Because it's about to hit America. Woo! These plagues is gonna touch home. All right. So even if you don't get drafted, even if you don't have to be shipped out to the Middle East, man, to fight in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, hey, look, you still gonna feel them plagues, and we see it happening. Gas gradually going up.
Yeah, that shit went up to $120 a barrel.
Yeah.
It's record high. It went up 30% in a week.
Yeah, 30%.
The price of oil and gas went up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shot up. So, and then Trump had to get up there and say, hey, we're almost done with the war, to get people to,
Calm down.
like relax and say, okay, we're good. And then he got right back up there later on the day after the markets closed and let him know, yeah, we're, we may draw it out more. We may be almost over. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So ultimately, he dug himself in a hole that he gotta, he gonna try to claw out of, but he ain't gonna be able to claw out.
Yeah. Yeah. He's putting all you simple Americans at ease with his hand movements, man. The nigga just do this, and everybody think it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Just watch the nigga. All he do is this.
Hey, scripture say a wicked man speak with his hands.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he's saying yes, but then he's doing this with his hands, and you people just eat it up. He's saying, I want more. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
You know, and he's gonna get that blood he wants, man.
Yeah.
This is Psalm chapter 94 in the NLT. It says, "O Lord, the power of vengeance, O power of vengeance, let your glorious justice shine forth."
Yeah, his power of vengeance. Our Lord is a power of vengeance, man. A power of you know, to get back what he what was given, man. A power of judgment. And this place, of course, has judged the children of Israel. But as it says in what's that? Our time of punishment is almost up. You know, the time of our punishment is almost up. That diadem is about to be put upon our head, Lord willing, man. You know, that crowning ceremony is about to take place. You see?
Yep.
And Yahawashi is coming to take the crowns from these individuals that don't deserve that, where they don't belong, where things don't belong, man. All right, and it's gonna be done by the way of this war, man. That's an aspect that the Lord is using to destroy these powers that are at hand, which is, of course, Esau, okay, and we seen it happen firsthand. Okay, the things that we said, from our apostles on down, the things that's been said are actually happening in the earth right now.
Sorry.
Major prophecies happen in the earth. And people are still lackadaisical. Oh man, why would I pay attention to that? I still got to go to work in the morning. That's the things niggas to say.
Right.
I still got to do this and that. I still got to file my taxes.
Yeah.
But I'm just waiting on my tax return, bro. Why you talking about drafts? Why you talking about? I ain't trying to hear it.
But you can't avoid it.
That's
Can't
right.
avoid it. You know what I'm saying? So ignorance is not gonna excuse you from the judgment to come.
Yep. It was not bliss.
Yep. Ignorance is bliss only momentarily. Then it becomes a handicap.
Hey, that's why scripture say in 2 Peter the 3rd chapter, for this they willingly made themselves ignorant.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. In the information age, that's an oxymoron, man.
Yeah.
Continuing on, Psalms 94 and 2. "Arise, O judge of the earth, give the proud what they deserve."
Yeah, arise, O judge of the earth. That's what we say when we say them prayers, man. When we say, hey, call hello YAHAWASHI, all praise to YAHAWASHI, he is, and of course Yahawashi being salvation, Yahawashi is gonna do something. That salvation is an action, it's an active word. For that to take place, things have to happen. Motions have to be made. All right, for a mediator to make things happen, that paperwork has to go forth. That the certain motions have to be had in court for things to be, for people to be, secure alleviation, or judgment.
Just to add on to what the priest is going into, ultimately, we're preaching destruction, deliverance, and dominion, man.
Right.
Destruction for the wicked, and ultimately deliverance and dominion for the elect, man. And we know YAHAWASHI is reserving, the wicked, for a specific time. But guess what? He's also reserving the elect, because they've been covered through the blood of YAHAWASHI, for their reward. See? This is Psalm chapter 94, verse 3 in the NLT. "How long, O Lord? How long will the wicked be allowed to gloat?"
Yeah, how long? Because this captivity has been a long and brutal one. You see? How long, oh Lord? All right, it was before COVID, you felt something was off, but then it was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Well, shit ain't really, it ain't gonna change like that. How could it change? C-19 happened. It was like, oh shit. And it slowed down for a little bit. You gotta remember the C-19, because it started in 2019, right? But then, look, 6 years later, man, the Lord, he working. You know what I'm saying? And before that too, the Lord has been working, but you're seeing major things happen in the earth. So we patiently waiting. How long? Men have been toiling in this thing before that, going on 40, almost 50 years now. Even longer than that. Brothers died in this thing. The brothers sacrificed a lot in this thing. We waiting to get out of here. So that's that cry. Okay, it says that in Revelation that the saints crying under the altar in the heavens. No, of course we cry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. Sighing and crying for the abomination of earth and water. You know, the Lord. How long, the Lord? And the Lord is hearing our prayers, man. That's prophecy in itself. The Lord is hearing your prayers. You see? That's right. You got it.
Continuing on, verse 4. How long will they speak with arrogance?
Mhm.
How long will these evil people boast?
Mhm.
It's like hey, perfect example. You got a perfect example. The brother, who is King David talking about in the spirit, bro? Like when he keeps mentioning the wicked, okay, the evildoer, the proud speaker.
Yeah.
He just ain't making stuff up, a random person or a random man, No, he's talking about these Edomites, man. Can you read that verse one more time?
God. This is Psalm chapter 94, verse 4. How long will they speak with arrogance?
How long will they speak with arrogance? A prime example, okay, Noah Yuval Harari, that nigga, okay, he said we don't have to wait on God to come and bring immortality. If you give us enough time and a few men in white coats, we can make immortality in a laboratory.
Yeah.
Who do you think he's talking about right here? If that's why scriptures ask you the question, if not, where and who is he? Who else is saying this shit?
Right.
No other nation of people have ever taken it this far to where they talking about we could create immortality in the lab. We could splice your genes. We want a biohack. So this is who King David speak about in the spirit.
Yeah, if I could say, when you look at the Roman Empire, basically the emperor, like the emperors or the Caesars of that time, were looked at as a deity.
Right.
You had entire temples dedicated to the Caesars. You know, so that in itself lets you know the pride of this devil. He thinks that, even going back to his, the ancient, societies that he had, he looked at himself as a god, which I know we didn't get it, but Ezekiel 28 talks about that.
I can get it.
And David personally had experience with these Edomites, man.
Yeah.
Specifically Amalek.
Yeah.
Though like the Edomite, man, he killed the priests.
He was actually Syrian.
Aram.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that's a clerical error. Where it says Adawam, it's really Aram. But there's other instances like Haman, Herod, in the scriptures. Well, that's where we get Purim, which is past Purim, Haman, the Agagite, right? From during the Medo-Persian Empire. But you brothers got it.
You even had that surname, Antiochus Epiphanes, which Epiphanes is a surname which literally means God manifests. You know what I mean? So Antiochus is God manifests. I'm God, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, that's if not where, who is he?
Listen, Ezekiel 28:9. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am a God?
Man.
But thou shalt be a man, and no God, in the hand of him that slayeth thee.
Yeah, the Lord is gonna humble Esau, man. The Lord is about to humble this man. The downfall of our enemy is what we see. Okay, and that's a blessing to see that. All right, according to what Sirach, the 25th chapter. That's a blessing, man. The Lord has allowed us to be here for these last moments. The Edomites' last words, last proverbial words, man. Watching them rot on his deathbed, man. Watching them make a fool of himself. See?
And most Jacob's embarrassed for Esau.
Yeah.
Like, why? This nigga called your ass a monkey. He said you 3/5 is a human and backed it up by his science.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So-called. But yeah, you ashamed. You embarrassed for Esau right now?
Yeah.
All of them not like that, man. You know what I mean? You motherfucker, you are a monkey.
Yeah. like the brother was reading, is that Sirach 12? Right where it say, or it might be let down in Sirach 10 where it says, who's a pity, charming. No, you can get that one. But then you can go back to that with the God.
This is Obadiah 1:3, and it reads, The proud of thine heart has deceived thee. Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
It's what Esau say, man. Not just, of course he says it verbally, but also non-verbally. With these space stations, all right, and then a little lower than that, these skyscrapers, him, trying to go through the, the space race, nigga saying he been to the moon, and so who gonna stop me? I done put my flag down on the moon. I done got the moon pregnant. I just inserted myself on the moon. Uh,
In a space race, look at it in the timeline of that and the arms races really coincide with one another because really what he was developing mostly was rocket technology. So like when they were trying to launch rockets, Sputnik, for example, like they're in the, I think that was what late 50s, late 50s. Russia, was able to get or early 60s, to launch that satellite. They wanted to be able to get that rocket technology developed because after the atomic bomb was developed, you know, they put two and two together. They were like, well, shit, if we could transport this in some type of way that we could get it on, shoot it without basically fire without having to fly a plane over it. You know what I mean? That shit, that's even more deadly. It was during the Cold War, arms race or whatever. So they was just really developing that rocket technology to where now you got intercontinental ballistic missiles now that they literally go up in space. Like, you know what I mean? That's how high up them shits go, all the way up into space, bro. And then come down. Like, that's really the technology that he was using. I mean, he has satellites and shit, you know what I mean, of course, but it was really that rocket technology, that the space race or whatever, really him developing rocket technology.
But they've never been to the moon.
Oh, hell no.
Never been to the moon. They
blew it up by now.
Yeah. And we're talking about back in what, the 1960s? And the technology that they have, because they boast in their science and tech, you would think that they would have been to the moon so many times. But every time that they launch a missile, some type of mishap, which is a lie, it exploded, did this or did that. Most High has put a barrier, right? The Van Allen belt around the earth that cannot be surpassed. And that's one of the regions likened onto what? The sea.
Yeah.
That's the place where no man can go till the Most High authorizes that.
Right.
Same thing with space. No man can go past this this earth, right, to other regions. All he can do is with his telescope kind of peek into it. But he never gets a true picture of what's out there because the Most High is denying it.
Yeah. That's what when it says in Genesis 1:1, separated the waters from the waters. Ask your pastor what that's talking about. Okay. Ask him what that's talking about. That's going into the firmament. Okay. That's the separation between basically the waters that's on the earth and then the Shemayim, which is pertaining to the water, which is the heavens. Right? That's that separation right there.
They'll say, oh, that's when Moses split the sea.
Yeah, hell no. Anybody say that is an idiot.
Yeah, they're idiot.
Idiot.
Yep.
One of Obadiah.
Kanye.
This is Obadiah 1:4, and it reads, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Right. And that exaltation we just talked about. All right, this man claiming to be God, claiming to play God, actually continuing to do so. All right, and that's an example as well. We'll just talk about the missiles. All right, he's now he got to say so of life and death, of who should live and who should die. The ultimate judge, playing the judge in the earth.
Yep.
Actually trying to follow after the steps of Nimrod building that tower. This man has done a lot in the earth, man. Destroying the earth. Hey, see? You got it.
Read more, can I just preach up real quick?
Come on.
This is Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah 49 and 10. It said, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. All right. So the Most High is showing that this is not a God. He claims to be a God, but he's a man. We're seeing all his fucked up ass shit that he's done throughout this earth. All right. Only the men of Great Millstone is preaching that. All these other individuals that know that they're Hebrew Israelites, they ain't talking about shit. All right. The Most High is revealing the wickedness of this kingdom so it can be judged. So you will agree, yes, Lord, this place needs to be brought down. Look at all this shit. We're showing you shit and telling you shit that he's done that no one else is telling you, man. You have to agree and say, yes, this is some wicked ass shit. And we still don't know all the bullshit he's done. Right? But we know enough for the Lord to what? To judge this place, man, and bring this place down.
Yep.
So the Most High is making his ass bare by what? Lifting up his skirts, seeing the bumps, you know, the pus, you know, all the nasty shit, dirty draws.
Yeah.
He ain't changed that shit since, I mean, he's a wicked. He ain't gonna never change, so his draws are still the same dookie stained draws.
You know, you saw they'll wipe his ass and shake your hand without wiping.
Man.
I see it all the time. You go to the airport, they can walk right out the stall and just wipe right out the bathroom.
Man, I swear. Bro. That's
Or you know what I mean?
yeah.
Trying to take your hand and shit.
Yeah, they be the first ones trying to shake your hand. And they get offended when you don't. Like, Jake be trying to give them fist bumps and shit.
Yeah.
And they feel offended, bro.
Shit, my boo.
They get all up in your booty. They be coughing for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the sick cough.
Like mouth all open.
Yeah, it's like the flu season. It's just fucking stubborn time. It's 100 degrees. That's what you coughing for, nigga.
Nigga cough proud, man.
Yeah, niggas are bioweapon.
Yeah.
All Edomites are bioweapons, man.
Yeah.
Especially those old Edomite women.
Oh yeah.
They got those open scabs on their arm. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Naked and shit.
Like,
Their skin was already wasted away, so they wither away easy.
Yeah. And we see it, man. Like you just read, man. He's being made bare. You know, everybody can see through his foolishness, man. It's dumbass shit. You even got of course we got these alternative media sources and sites, you know, and pages and everything like from around the world, you know. But you even have ex-military. You know, you seen the ex-military in the state boom. I don't know exactly what courtroom he was in. You know, fully you know, dressed up as an ex-marine or whatever he is. Talking about, man, our children are not gonna die in this war, man.
right.
You know? So like these people starting to see, like Americans starting to see through the bullshit of what America do.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
You even got this trend online. I seen it on my on my timeline, man. People saying that America is the fire nation now. You know, like if you've ever seen
Oh,
like
Avatar last
you know, Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
realizing that America is the problem in the earth. The common person is now actually considering, damn, America might be the fucking problem. You know, and Israel. Let me not get on Israel. Hey, all this anti-sim propaganda, or I mean, you can't even really call it propaganda. Anti-truth. You know, or it's not anti-truth, but it's truth coming out about what these small hats is doing, man.
Yeah.
About the abominations. How Trump being questioned about. Hey, it was found that these those what do they call it? Them nukes or that weapon that was used in Israel to bomb 125 children was actually America's.
Wow.
The Tomahawk. Yeah.
No, it's 171.
Oh, damn.
Children, girls, and all girls.
Yeah, all
Iran.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically they hit that school thinking that it was
A hideout or something like that.
it used to be
A base or something.
a base, you know what I mean? But that information was old information, like several years old, you know what I mean? And they even painted that part of the building different, like compared to what it used to look like, on the outside. But yeah, they blew that shit up, and then now. But the worst part about it is they're trying to say Iran did it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
you know what I mean? So, they're scrambling, and then now they're, because it's not gonna look good.
Right.
That lets you know the devil. He's just trying to cover up everything, and everybody's saying, "Bro, you niggas blew it up." Like you said, the Tomahawk missile. Trump tried to act like there's other nations that have it, not just America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nigga, you're gonna have to admit that you niggas was wrong, but they're too proud.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they're too
too
proud. They
proud.
don't. They won't. They can't say that. Yeah, we made a mistake. These niggas use AI to find locations and then just press the fucking button
Yeah,
without doing proper intel on the shit. That's right.
yeah.
You got it.
Because they honestly just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They could care less.
Right,
They
right,
could care less.
right,
You know? And they
right.
may have just done it just because, like, we just want to, hey, we want y'all to turn up, man. You know? Because this nigga's the devil, man.
And we're witnessing Revelation 12 and 12. He's just coming down with great wrath on everybody right now.
Yeah.
Because another reason why Trump talking about he just want to hurry up and get this war over with, even though we know that's all BS, but because they want to move to Cuba next.
Yeah.
They don't already make themselves nice and comfy in Venezuela. They got that out the way in January. So now they move to Cuba. You know what I mean?
Y'all know
But
why? Y'all know why Cuba is the point of interest?
well, they're saying all these particular countries are not owned by the Rothschild Bank, central banks.
Well, that could be a factor. I'll say. Well, another thing they're saying is that China has basically what's it called? Bases there. Like China has 3 not radio satellites located in Cuba. You know what I'm saying? That have they have the capacity to intercept information from Florida, like that area down there. You know what I mean? And, now they got bases. America got bases in Key West, Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And basically, China basically is everything circles around America versus Russia and China. Indirectly, until it becomes direct, it's going to be indirect.
Yeah.
Because Iran supplies a lot of China's oil. Obviously, Russia has close dealings with Iran. You know what I mean? All the countries that, like North Korea, China and North Korea are close. You know what I mean? China was supplying oil to Venezuela. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, China was buying oil from Venezuela. You know, and but Cuba was getting 50% of their oil from Venezuela as well. So basically now is Trump is seeing what's the consequences of us overtaking Venezuela's oil exports or controlling their oil exports. Oh, who becomes weak by this? Cuba. Okay, well we want to Cuba anyway. Let's go ahead and get them. Let's go ahead and Trump said he put extra sanctions on any country that ships oil to Cuba. So he's literally in the whole month of January, no oil was imported to Cuba for a whole month. You know what I mean? And even now, it's still very, very low. And countries like them, like have mercy. That's what it's calling a humanitarian aid because they're so through. You know what I mean? Which that's Cuba. That's that's Manasseh Slocky. Yeah, made to forget. That's why I saw it. You know what I mean? But yeah, So yeah, this devil man, he's neither keep it at home. Like have a second chapter.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yep. That's right. Got it.
This is Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. It says, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery.
Yeah. Lies and robbery, man. Look at the way that this thing was established. So now they don't want to teach about the way that America was actually founded, what America was actually founded upon.
Right.
They don't want to actually, say, yeah. we killed, majority of the Native Americans. We enslaved, you Negroes and Latinos. We still fucking y'all up. Really. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then we going around the world stealing resources that aren't ours, starting wars, continuing wars, right? Causing mass psyops upon the people, and then forgot that we was putting drugs in you and in the food. And this man is full of lies and robbery, man. He's taking shit. He just takes shit. He wants
to be the bully. He wants to be called a bully when he at his own convenience. He wants to go to Venezuela, knock out, put out the president. Now again talking about taking over Cuba. Then when you want to, Jake want to expose him for the bloody history. He doesn't want to be exposed then.
You see? Right. He only wants to claim parts of history that he wants to. Right. That's what. But scriptures say, "Whoa," And of course, we see woes happening upon the earth, man. Well, in World War III. No, but that also Esau is included in that, man. Esau is who's gonna get the biggest woe. All right, this woe to his whole setup, man. You gotta read that. Yeah.
This is Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not.
Yeah, the prey departeth not, man. This man is preying upon everything. All right, like y'all just read in with Sirach. You know, if he's not for your benefit, then he's not gonna use. If you're not for his benefit, he's not gonna use you, man.
Yeah.
Right? He's benefit only. This nigga running numbers on goddamn everything, man. All right. You see it, man.
And he benefits off you in a sick, diseased state.
Yeah.
But he can't use you if you're healthy.
Right.
That's why this whole system is all predicated off of just keeping you mentally sick, spiritually sick, physically sick. You know, but see, hey, this word is restoring all. Yeah, just sick, bro. This word is restoring all things. Psalms 107-20. He sent his word and healed them. So this is why this devil wants to cut this, man.
Right.
You know, but the Lord is going to allow it, because at that point, once Esau does, tighten his grips upon, the ministry, going out with free course, the damage was already done.
Yeah.
In the sense of, in a good sense,
Right.
with the elect being sealed.
Yeah.
If I can ask what you're saying, bro, because Jeremiah 50:23 refers to Esau Edom as the hammer of the earth. What does the hammer do? It pounds shit, right? And that makes it obvious who he is. He is that supreme power of Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. How's a country able to go into another country and kidnap their fucking president? He is the hammer of the earth. But the premise behind that is that this hammer of the earth, which the Most High has set up, at some point in time, is going to be broken. And that's what we're preaching. That right now, everything looks like he's winning. Looks like he's winning. He's pounding his chest like a gorilla. Who can stop him? I double dare you, right? But that's why it's going to take a divine power to bring this sucker down.
Yeah.
Just to add on to what you're saying, that hammer analogy, slogan that says what? For basically paraphrasing that, Esau is the hammer because every problem looks like a nail to him, man. See, everything that he does, he just has one simple solution, which is just to destroy, man, and conquer and take it. See, even when you think he's gonna bring peace, he's literally has a ulterior motive, man. See, they said I think I was watching this one news where I think the Iranian prime minister said when they were doing negotiations with America, as they were doing the negotiations, America bombed them, man.
Damn.
See, you can't trust this devil, man.
That's Psalms 50. So Psalms 55
Yeah.
speaks about how the smooth words, but war is in his heart.
And if you look at this man's history, right? If you truly looked at Esau Edom's history, you would know not to trust him. I was reading something the other day, man. This devil signed so many peace treaties with the so-called Indians. So many peace treaties with the so-called Indians that included so-called black people. Black people was involved in that. The treaty involved respecting boundaries.
Right there.
Right there.
Nigga, hey, you talk to an Edomite, he get all close. The nigga don't respect boundaries, man. Yeah, he all over your face. He all fucking
All in your space.
chest all, out and shit.
Yeah.
Weak little ass chest poked out. Like, fuck. Esau obviously don't respect boundaries.
Yeah.
That's true, bro.
Yeah,
that is funny.
That's
That's
what
one.
So he's not to be trusted. Every treaty, every pact that he's made with these other nations, he's broken. So I see why Iran didn't want to, because they know his history.
Okay.
These so-called blacks, Latino, Native Indians, so-called white people that really don't know the history of the Edomites.
Yeah.
They love blood at the end of the day.
Well, that's what's so interesting about Iran, man. It's that the generation that's in there now, that's like grown ups now, that's like making, pretty much the major, they control majority of the economy and voting for, their presidents and, electing, representatives and whatnot. They remember, 9/11, the early 2000s. It didn't change. a lifestyle that they had from before that time and after, and then even during the administration of Obama, even Bush. No, they remember all that. And now they got the decision, and then of course what's happening now, the president that they just elected now is a good representation of that. His mother, or I don't know if it's his mother or if it's his father's, one of his father's wives. I don't know if it's actually his mother that birthed him, but one of his father's wife, his father, his some of his children as well, and I might be mistaken, but it might be his wife was killed under the after one of the bombings of by Israel in America, man. So he's personally been affected by this, but that goes to show you, man, that these people are slowly but surely waking up. All right,
Bro, and if I can add to what you're saying, because
Yeah.
we're not there. We're not seeing the atrocities that Israel and America is doing to Iran. They give us snippets.
yeah,
They've done far worse, man. And that's what our media comes in, right? They'll tell you a little bit, and less information makes you feel like that they're right in what they're doing. The same lies that they told about Iraq, that they have weapons of nuclear destruction. We don't want them to get uranium and have this ability because they know what they're going to do with it.
yeah,
But all these other nations have it. Who are you to dictate what they should have, what they shouldn't have?
yeah.
You see? Because they know the wickedness of America, and that's the first thing that they'll do is launch a fucking missile to Israel, right? Start with the head of the snake, and then America.
Yep. And they've done it, man. They've done it. All right, like you said, the track record, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Man.
Yeah.
These nations, they know. They study the history of the fucking Edomite, man. Better than these Americans know the history of the Edomites. Niggas can't tell you. Hey, you talk to your average American, eating a hot pocket right now. They can't tell you five presidents. Five. But before 20 years ago. The founding fathers, the year that the Declaration of Independence was made. They can't answer some of those questions, man. How you versus a fifth grader,
Nahum chapter 3, verse 2, the noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses
Yep.
and of the jumping chariots.
That's what America sound like. You get dropped off in New York City. You just get teleported in New York City. It's just shit going on. Vendors out on the street, cars going traffic, all the horns. All right.
You can hear right now.
Right. Yeah.
During the daytime, especially.
Right.
Yeah.
Walking cars. I mean, there's cars right now, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
The hustle and bustle of the city.
Right.
Well, people are home right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But during the daytime, people walking and shit. You know what I mean.
Yeah, Katy Trail, just getting stuff done, going to work, your suit and tie, Uber Eats, walking your dog, postman coming through, walking to the mailbox. All right, those trucks parked up all down the street, service trucks, all kind of stuff going on. That's what America's about. It's a commerce economy, man. It's money central, People come here and they make money. It's a major hub for you to come and make money. But all that's gonna stop. Just like during the C-19. I'm gonna make that example. During the C-19, man, you see, they turned the cameras on and there was no hustle and bustle in New York, man. That's right. Well, this is what's coming again. A major slowdown. We'll wrap it up after this.
Nahum chapter 3, verse 3, the horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear.
Mhm.
And there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses.
Yeah, and that's gonna be Yahawashai, man. Hey, the horseman, Yahawashai coming upon a swift cloud. He's gonna lift up that sword, man. Of course, it's gonna manifest in the way of these, nations shooting nuclear missiles, man, nuclear warfare. But that's all gonna be due to Yahawashai putting His Spirit upon them, and cleansing this earth of all the blood that's been dealt, as we read in the earlier in this chapter. All right, that bloody city, all the things that is done. God, is that it?
It says, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses.
Yep. So yeah, mass death is coming, man. All right, and it's going to fulfill itself. It's going to show itself with them. War. Okay, and what comes with war? You got famine. You know, you got pestilences. Yeah, right. Yep. More disease. You know, of course, just people entering into each other's houses, fighting for goods, man. So yeah, more woe. All right, people think it's gonna get better, but it ain't gonna get better. You know, it's gonna be more better blues. It's gonna be more blues. You know, more blues for you people. So hey, but we got gifts coming to us, man. Lord willing, we got gifts on the way. You know, Yahawashi is on the way.
That's right.
All right, about to he's here. You know, healing us from everything that we're going through. You know, so all we got to do is keep enduring, man. Keep enduring in the faith. The Lord is making moves. So we want to go ahead and give all praise, all honor, and infinite glory to our Heavenly Father. Yeah. Okay, and double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, taught us the truth. Peace and salutation to the whole select. Shalom.